Hi everybody, it's Marcy Bessaker and I should be live on my YouTube. Of course, I'm going to check it out. Yes, I'm going to turn my volume down and make sure I can see the comments. I'm just waiting for my Facebook to go here, or my I'm going to minimize my software so I can see on my YouTube. Alright, I'm going to update, make sure I can see everything. Hi, I see somebody starting to come on. I just want to get my live. I'm going to share my link to my page. And make sure everybody can see me. This is my second Facebook Live. If you can say hi, I'd really appreciate it. All right, looks like we are good. So many things to figure out. And I don't know why my screen is not minimizing, which is kind of weird. I have a software program that I use, and I'm just trying to minimize the screen so that I can see my Facebook, but it is not wanting to do that for me. But I have some really fun things to share with you today. I closed my blinds because I had a really weird glare coming in, so hopefully it's not too dark. I see people starting to come on now, so I'll get started just shortly. I'm trying to get my program to minimize, and it does not want to, so that's okay. We are going to just move it down out of the way. So many things when you're doing lives to get things to go the right way, but that's okay. So I will be on YouTube on my phone and on my computer on my software program on my laptop. So we'll get it worked out. So today we have some really cute fun things. I have 2 cards to create with you. And we're going to first use the Blossoms and Bloom. So we are going to use some new items and some old items, because there's some old items that honestly, because I just signed up again as a demonstrator, I have not used. So I wanted to make this one card, and so I'm going to use a current set that I think is super cute. So let's just jump in and get started. I have a lot of techniques to show you. I will be posting all of the information below in the YouTube when I finish here, and I'll get everything posted for you. So let's get started. All right, we're going to start with the Blossoms in Bloom, and we are going to do some techniques. So I am going to pull in my Stamparatus. Now, for those of you that don't know what a Stamparatus is, it's a positioning tool, and I have a lot of them. I have a lot of positioning tools. I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but I just want you to know that I really find this one to be my go-to positioning tool. So I'm going to show you, I'll make sure I'm in the screen. I tend to bring it towards me, and I have a glare, so let me get rid of that. Is that okay? Is that light enough for you guys to see without the glare? I want to open this. Let me open up the screen now that we're pointing down. I think will be my shades, my blinds, get a little more light in. It's just when it's pointed to me that it's a little darker, and you don't really need to see me anyway, right? Okay, so what I did with this card, I have made a card with this before. Let me grab it. This is a card that I've made prior. And I popped up some of the flowers. I did use all 3 of the dies. Well, all 2. The stamp plus 2 dies. So here are the dies. So this one is, I did the mango. Let's see, what is that? It was the Mango Melody on this one. This part in the back is stamped, and then I did the outline in black. So now that's where you're going to get all the 3 dimensions here. And that's what I did with this card. We're going to do it a little bit differently today. And you'll see this is the outline die, and then this is the solid cut die, and then you're going to see your stamping underneath that. But we are not going to use all of these today. We will be using this one. And so what we're going to do first, I'll put this one back. This is what the black looks like though. Look, I did do one. So you can see what it looks like. And I mean, you don't have to do it in black. You can do it in whatever color you want. But I just threw it in here because it was an extra. When I was deciding what I wanted to do today, I changed my mind. So I'm going to just do a regular white. So let me cut that out. And a lot of the card I kind of pre-prepped ahead of time, but there's definitely some good techniques that I want to show you that I've done. And that's kind of what we're going to focus on today. Now, I did have quite a few people message me and ask me what die cutting machine I use, and it is the Big Shot Express. And I love it. I got it right before all this pandemic thing happened. Joann's had it, and I saw it online, and it was on sale. And I immediately tried to get it, and it was sold out. So then I called my local Joann's. Okay, quick tip, go from the back so you're not scratching the front, and just in case you're using any other kind of material. I just kind of usually break this first. Oh, I feel like I have 2 pieces. I think this is just the thicker white, but that's okay. And so anyway, I called Joann's, and I asked my local one, and I asked them about it, and they said, you know, let me look and see if we can get it anywhere. And the lady told me there was one left, and I'm in California, and the one that was left was like in Philadelphia or Pittsburgh or somewhere like that. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, so she said, if you can get down here to the store, and at that time, we were all shopping and we didn't know about this pandemic thing. But she said, if you can get down here at the store, we can order it. You can pay for it in store, and we can get it shipped store to store. But it was the last one in their inventory anywhere, in any of their stores. So, of course, I rushed right down there. Luckily, they were very close to me. And I went down there, and she ordered it for me. And she said, you know, there's a coupon going on, but when you come back in, if the coupon's still good, we can adjust it, whatever. They did. I even got it like an additional 20% off or something. So I got an amazing deal. I didn't think I would get it because it was already on sale, but I did. So just look for the sales and look around and keep looking. It is an amazing machine. And there's a little tool kit that attaches to the side. I put all my bone folders and my pokey tools and all that. Okay, so now we have this, and so this is going to come into play a little bit later. Okay, I'm going to set that aside for now. I'm going to pull this back in. What I like about the Stamparatus is you can do your layering stamping. So for example, I'm going to put this, I think I had it, oops. Watch out, your magnets will stick like crazy. Okay, so I think I had it like right there. Let me see. Nope, one more over. I usually try to put it on a line, and I kind of had a feeling that this might go off the side, but I also didn't want to have to stamp so close to the edge. So I went right up to this next line, and then I put my magnets down, And you can adjust those once you kind of see where your stamp goes. But then you can put your other stamps up here, and I'll kind of show you. We're not going to do that this time, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. So what I did is I decided to take my mango, and I have all my ink pads out here for my 2 different cards, so it's going to get a little crazy here. Okay, so I have my mango and my poppy, and I'm going to find my daubers because we are going to use a dauber. Oh, decline, my daughter's calling. Sorry about that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to take my Mango Melody and I'm going to ink up. Let me move over a little bit. Okay, I'm going to ink up. Please let me know if I'm not in camera or whatever, or if you can't hear or there's any issues so I can fix them. My program is not letting me see my YouTube, but it is on my phone. Okay, so I'm just going to ink this up. And then I'm going to, I want it a little bolder. Not a lot, but a little. So I'm just going to ink one more time, lightly, not a lot. Where is everybody from? I really appreciate you joining me on this Sunday evening. My husband's been out my window here welding, and he's creating something all day, and I've been waiting and waiting, and I'm like, I want to do my live. I have 2 great projects and lots of tips. Okay, so I'm taking the Poppy Parade, and I'm just going to dab in the center kind of heavily. I definitely want a difference in some color right there. And it's just going to add a little bit of another dimension, a little bit of color. You see flowers, and they've got some different colors. So we're going to do this. All right. All right, just kind of hold it. Again, I like to have the paper kind of absorb the ink. And look at that. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I've already did a lot of this, but I just want to show you some of the tips and techniques that I've got going. So we are going to take this, and what I do next usually is I take the center of the flower, and I find a little tiny block, and I used soft suede. All right, and so I just take these and I just put them inside, just kind of center them the best you can. I mean, they're flowers. Flowers aren't perfect. Nothing's perfect. Okay, so that just adds just a whole lot. All right, so what I did next is I cut these all out. I cut them all out. I did some leaves. So what I did is I did some flowers. So I put another small piece of paper there, did some flowers, and then I turned it over and I did some leaves. And that's what I like about the Stamparatus is you can even turn this one over and add more to the other side if there's more items that you know, maybe your sentiment or whatever. But I really like this, but I wanted to save a lot of time and show you some other things. So I'm going to set that aside. We're going to bring this in and bring in some goodies here that we're going to be working with. So the next thing we did is we're going to just set that aside. That's a step that's coming. Now I'm going to bring in my pad here just so we have something to work on. I'm going to grab a piece of white paper, some Whisper White, and this is not cut down yet, and that's okay. I'm going to use the white that we cut out as a template. So I'm just going to lay this on my card, kind of where I want it. And what I'm going to do is use a pink and a yellow. So I used Daffodil and Flirty, and those are not the colors in my Stampin', but that's okay. They're in the same shade idea, right? So I'm just going to lay this down on the white, and this is going to be a background. So I'm showing you some technique, and then I've got the pieces put together, and I'll show you what I did with those because there's some more technique I did. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this down and just kind of start off, and then just kind of come on, and then hold it the best you can where you can. It's not any kind of science, nothing special. A little more yellow. Just kind of make sure you get the picture in there because you're kind of using this as a stencil, okay? So now I'm going to get rid of the daffodil, open up the Flirty Flamingo. Okay, just realign this up. And now you're going to do the Flirty Flamingo. You're just kind of adding some interest to your color in the background. I want to get up in this corner too. I don't put too much more on it because you just want it faded. Okay, so just like this. I just want it faded in a background. But now move this out of the way and look at this. I want to finish this up. So I want to add a little more yellow because this can become another card. Okay, so now you can set this on top of, let's say, like a melon mambo or something, and you can create another card. And then you can take that black that we had earlier, add it on here. Let's see if I can get it lined up. And this is a whole nother card once you get it lined up exactly. But look at that. And you can put whatever color you want. You can do a different color on a different cardstock, whatever you like. So save all your bits and pieces that you use for this technique, because you could definitely create more cards. This was the first one that I did, and then I just showed you the second one. That one maybe was a little darker. So now what you would do is go ahead and cut this down. And then here's this. Now I'm going to show you what else we're going to do with this card. So if you look at the flowers, and if you saw my video yesterday, you're going to see a technique that I like to do. And I like to just take my blend tool and just lightly go in. And I like to blend these little hash marks in the stamp. To me, it just kind of makes it look a little silkier. And so I'm not going to do the whole thing because I did the one before, but if you take a look, this one looks a lot different than this one if you're looking at the hash marks. And the more you go over it, the more it's going to blend. And like this was white right here, and I kind of went over and it covered it. This is regular Whisper white cardstock, so you don't want to get it too wet. It would probably, you could wet it and blend a little more on shimmer white or definitely on watercolor, but this works perfectly fine on Whisper white. You just don't want to keep going over and over in the same spot, and as long as you have a wet blend, it's fine. And this blend I've used on green, I've used on everything. You just wipe it off like this. You can, it doesn't even come off, but you'll see on the other items that I did. Let me show you. So what we have are the items that I've already done, and we're just going to put this card together. So with the techniques that we did our stencil background. I went ahead and took some of the Mango Melody and some Old Olive. Then I pulled out one of the new gold, Forever Gold Elements, I think it is. And it's a designer paper. It's in the package. Let's see. I showed this yesterday too. It's in the Forever Gold Specialty Designs. And you get the individual like leaves. And then in the back you get these panels here that you can use, and that's where this one came from. Okay, this is really nice, and all of the newer items are available June 3rd. Okay, so what I wanted to do, I'm just going to adhere some of this together because I have an idea. And yesterday we kind of just winged it, and I knew what I was going to create with, but I didn't know what I was going to do. This one I have a little better idea of what I want to do. And I'm going to just kind of, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. All right, so before I put it on my panel, I kind of like to work on this first. So I'm going to pull in my little silicone mat here, and I'm going to take this. I usually use my finger, but today I'm going to use a sponge because this is the beginning of a video and I just don't want to have glue all over me. So let me cut a little bit of my sponge. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some glue, and I'm going to take a sponge and I'm just going to dab. I do not need it heavy. I just need it to stick, and this glue, it sticks pretty well. And I'm going to be adhering things up on top of it, so it's probably not a big deal. All right, I'm going to turn the light back this way just a bit. All right, so now I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to move this out of the way. And I want it to go, you just kind of figure out the way you like it. I think I like it this way. And I want it kind of towards the edge because I really want to see a lot of the gold. And I think I'm going to adhere some of the flowers more over here. So this should stick. Yep. All right. So now what I did is we are going to use the new punch. So I'm going to show you how to use that. It is a great punch. I also did a gold one just in case I decide to do gold. So we'll take a look at that. So we're going to go ahead. Oops, my light just went down. Oh, that is not the right light. Sorry about that. Okay, so what we're going to do is get the punch, and it's called Lovely Label, and it's a dual punch, and it's 1/4 inch, let's see, 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch. And so you can do this edge or this one, and I'm choosing this one because I'm doing flowers, so it's more of a female type of card. And so what you're going to do is you're going to just slide it in and slide it all the way, and then turn it over just like all the other punches. Turn it over and just make sure it's centered and right where you want it, and then just punch it. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Slide it in. I kind of hold it there, turn it, and then punch it. Okay, so there's the one. And now I want to do this one. And again, it should just slide in the grooves there. Slide it all the way in. Turn it. Punch it. And the same one more time. And so we'll decide if we're going to use the Mango Melody or the gold towards the end. Once I have it all kind of put together. Let me make sure that this is aligned right. Oh, there. It's kind of stuck. All right. And all right. So there we go. So there we have, that's how our punch works. This is a brand new one. Also available June 3rd. Lovely labels. And I'll have everything listed on the YouTube when we're done. So I'm going to put this one aside because I have one and I have a gold, and I'll just decide later what I'm going to do with that. All right, so now I need my dimensionals. And we're going to just kind of pop them up on our flowers. So what I did with the flowers is I cut them out. They're not perfect. They're not, because the leaves kind of entwined, like you might be able to tell on this one. There was a leaf that went right here, but that's okay. We're just going to tuck that in. So go ahead, and I want my flowers. I like all of my flowers to be popped up. So I'm just going to start out with one on each so I can know where I'm going to put them. Now I also took and got leaves out of the Forever Fern set, and that is a new set, and I used this one in both cards today. And so I use these just to add some more greenery, but look, I also used the peacock paper because that has some sparkle, and I have sparkle in the gold. So I punched a few of those too with the leaf punch just to see if that's something I'd like to play with. All right, so what I'm going to do is kind of get an idea where I want the sentiment. And I'm just going to do placement with this one for now. And I think I'm just going to do that and work my way up. So, just kind of start layering where you want. Remember, you're still going to have that green around the outside. So I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to move over and put some greenery on. So you kind of just get an idea of where you want to put your items. I'm going to do a little dimensional up here. I want the taller, longer length one up here in the back, so I'm just going to kind of stick that. Now you're also going to know once I cut the flowers out, I like to take a big black pen, and I have this Prismacolor is what I use. It has two tips. I just use the back tip, and I do it from the back because when you're on the front, sometimes you can slide off or whatever and you'll get the front done. So just always try to do it from the back. Sometimes when you get to a tip here or whatever, then you're going to have to maybe come to the front a little bit, but you want to do it as much as you can from the back. So I'm going to think about where I'm going to put these. And you don't really need a lot of the dimensionals. Okay, because you're going to be, and I see I did some darker color here too. So you can just add whatever you want once you get going. And do I want all 5 of my flowers? You can just kind of decide what you want to do. I like this flower. So I think I might just go with 3. So let's see. Let's just see what it's like. So maybe I pop that up. I'm going to pop this one because I like the larger ones in the back, just kind of fills it in. This is just for filler design. If you look closely, another crafter gets it. They're definitely going to be looking at all of your layers and what you've done. But you do not have to not cover it all up. Okay, I'm going to move that. And I kind of think these are fun. I think I might just add these in just to add a little sparkle. I think I'll just stick this one down here like this, because remember we have the green, so you could lay this over the green just to make sure you're not going too far out of the sides. So I'm going to just move that up a bit like that. All right, and I'm probably going to put another dimensional underneath there because it's a little wiggly. All right. So just kind of get an idea, start, you know, putting things where you want them. Think about what you want. I do want to add some of this sparkle, these leaves, because I just think they're pretty. I definitely want to add another small flower. And this is where you kind of are like, okay, that's 4 flowers. You definitely need a 5th one, but do you need 3 small ones or 2? I just do a total. So I'm good with that. I want another, I think I'm going to add these leaves in here too. There just looks like a lot of different leaves, but I'm all right with that. Just stick them way under. And they can be like almost covered up. It just adds another little dimension of color. And I think I want to add another one of these down here. And so you see I'm really tucking those in. They do not have to be, I haven't put one of these on yet. So this goes 3 for my darker color. We're almost done. You know what? I think I'm going to add a little dimensional up here at the top. I did glue on the bottom, but that's all right. I just want this one to set up a little bit. Right there. All right. Now I think I am going to go with, well, now I don't know. Do you guys think the gold or the mango? Which do you like better? Gold or mango? Let me know what you think. Which one? Now I've done all these flowers and these leaves, and I have extras for another card. Okay, Kelly, mango it is. So I'm gonna glue this on here. And of course the green glue is nice because it gives a little time for some wiggle. So we'll let that set just a second. And then while we're waiting for that, I'm going to, because we have so much popped up on the front, I am going to just glue this down and not pop this part up. Happy Sunday, Kelly. All right, so now I'm going to put dimensionals on this. And I was going to put some gold twine or something there, but I don't think we need to. So we're just going to add this here, but of course I'm still going to add bling, so hold on. All right, so there's that. My bling, where is it? I am just in love with these gold gilded gems. But I also really like the new, these ones, the metallic pearls. But I think this is so bold that I'm going to go with these. So I'm going to put a large one over here because it's just kind of a little space with that one, because you know I don't like to put them on the sentiment. I try to all the time and then I end up not liking it. So there's 3. I'm going to do 5 this time just because I want to. I just have to decide where I want them. 4, and I'm going to put another large one just tucked right here. All right, there we go. So that is card number 1. So you can see, even though this card starts out with a stamp like this and 2 different kinds of dies, the solid and then the, like this one, and then the little outline, you can cut it up and make it what you want. And now I just love how this is so bold and such a great card, and I added a lot of different elements to it. And what I end up doing is I end up having extra leaves and extra flowers a lot of times because I'm not sure what I'm going to put on here until I put it on. And then that way, when I do another card, I'm like, okay, I have a couple flowers and this is ready. I can make another card here easily. So that's the first card. All right, let me set this aside. The next card is a really fun card. I'm going to put all my pieces in here so I don't lose them. All right. So that was card number 1. The next card is a fun card. I've used a lot of different products, new and old. And we are going to be using Back on Your Feet. It's a super fun card. We're also going to use a little bit of the Forever Fern, which is new, a couple of embossing folders, and some ribbon. So again, new and old, we're going to be using. And I did a lot of it already. I'm just going to show you some techniques that I did with this. So let me just set this aside. All right, so here we go. So I decided I'm going to use the new colors, which are Cinnamon, Cider, and Bumblebee. So those are the 2 colors I've chosen. I went ahead and I stamped out my giraffe. And like I said, I did a lot of it. I just kind of want to show you and tell you about some techniques I did. So the giraffe, what I did is I stamped it on Whisper White with Memento Black. And then I colored it in with my alcohol inks, my blends. And I used the dark soft suede and the light soft suede and the light and dark mango melody. So that's how I did him. Then I decided what I was going to do. This was one of those cards where I changed my mind a lot on what I wanted to do. So I was going to put the gold behind here. And of course I didn't want to waste the gold, so I decided to use the stitched rectangles and take out the center and use this on another card another time. So it was laying down like this. I already knew what I wanted to do for the greenery, because of course a giraffe needs some greenery. And then I decided I liked the frame idea because I was going to have to cut off part of this. And this is not what I started off with. I started off with this, with the Celebrate Sunshine, I think, the new sunflower stamp set. And it has this in here. So I made a bunch of them. And then I decided that I didn't want this color and this greenery. And I remembered that we had this. And that tree is out of the I have an avalanche over here. It is out of the Sweet Silhouette. So right here, the Sweet Silhouette, and I have everything listed. I'll show you at the end. So I decided to do that. So I did one in espresso and one in old olive. And then I took the pine wood plank embossing folder and I embossed the wood part. And then I just randomly cut it and then I adhered it on top of the old olive. And the specks on the trees, I took out of the Forever Fern. So I took this and I stamped on the green to just give it a little more depth and dimension. So that's what I did there. And then the embossing folder that I used is the hammered metal embossing folder, and I did that on the new color, the Bumblebee, just because it kind of reminded me of an animal, a little bit of a giraffe, but mostly an animal. So what I'm going to do is I decided I'm going to adhere this on top up here. Another tip I had is, you know, when you cut the gold, it is white on the outside. See how white that is right there? So what I did is I took the light mango embossing or blend and I just went across it like this. And that just makes it finished look a little bit more and not white on the edges. And then that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/4. And this one is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this to here first. And the reason is because I want the tree to come through. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the tree down. Let me get my mat. All right, we're going to put this down, figure out where we want the tree. And I think I want it to come through like this. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is adhere the bottom so I can at least have the frame in place. Make sure it aligns up everywhere. All right, now I'm going to adhere the rest. Just do a light bead all the way around. You don't need a whole lot. And if it goes inside, that's okay. On the top, it's going to catch the tree. And then just go down the side. And that should be, oh, I didn't get side. All right. Now you're going to take the tree. And I want to put it like that. Okay, so I'm going to take this and pick up that extra glue. But I'm also going to put some glue so I can get the back of my tree. All right, I'm going to put a little bit over here. All right, so there's the tree. And some of it's up, some of it's down, and it's going to be okay. So we're going to move that out of the way. And I'm not going to trim this off yet. I want to lay it on here to see where we are size-wise. And I did just leave a tiny border, and I think I'm going to leave it like that, because I think it's cute kind of sticking out. So, and I think I might pop this up because there's not a lot being popped up. In fact, there's no glue back there. So what I'm going to do is take a glue dot And I'm going to just slide it under the trunk of the tree, just so I make sure that that's there. Okay, and then as you're done, once everything's done and stuck, if I didn't get enough glue, I'll put another little glue dot underneath somewhere. But for now, I'm good with that. I am going to pop this up, and I have down to the end here, so I'm going to take the outer sides and just run those down the outside, just because I have it. I usually don't use this much adhesive on a card, but why not? All right. All right, I'm good with that. Take it all off. So I thought this was a cute card. I like the sentiments. All right. Move it over so I can see a little bit. All right, there's that. Now, in the background, when I put the giraffe there, it just looks so plain with my sentiment, which so I wanted to do something. So I decided, I took a circle. I went ahead and used the blending brushes, and I used the blue and the green, and I just kind of made a background, and I just cut out a circle, and I'm just going to kind of just put it there, just to add, again, a little bit of a scenery, a little bit of depth in the card. So just kind of, so it's kind of like he's outdoors. So I'm going to pop him up with some little dimensions. And we're just about done. But I really liked the wood I added, the embossing folder. This set is so cute that it has sentiments inside and out. I just love these little tiny dimensionals. Okay, so now I'm going to cut a little tiny dimensional. So I'm going to cut this for his little legs. So I'm going to have one over here and one over here. All right, I'm going to take those all off. All right, so now I'm putting my little guy right here. He's got a knot in his neck, so he's going to be sighing, right? So we're going to put his little sigh right here. And now the inside is even a nice, funny sentiment. Let me find, here it is, my inside. I thought we would put the leaves on the top. Again, these were from the Forever Green, Everfern. And I just realized I forgot my bow. So, what I'm going to do is see. Oh, I did the dimensions all the way, so I really can't, but I could do a bow. So let's do that. Let's just do a little bow by the sentiment. I'm telling you, my nails are, number one, about to fall off, but number two, so long I can't do anything. I have a friend that she likes long nails, and I'm always like, I don't understand how you do anything. And now she's laughing because her nails fell off already, and mine are long. So we both switched. Let me start that over. So now she's got short nails, and I have long nails, and it's just a sad situation. All right. All right, here we go. There we go. There's my bow. I want this edge cut. Let's see if I want the bow on there. Let's see. I guess we'd have to put it down there because of the knot on his neck. I don't want to put it on him. Okay, I don't like the bow, so no bow. All right. Now, on this one, we are going to do the inside. And I'm going to use we are going to use this sentiment here. I'm going to show you how to put the stickers on if you don't know. Some people like, I'll show you the options. Some people like to just pull the top panel off here and then lay your sticker down and put it on. And I do not, that does not work for me very well. It just seems like it doesn't align that well for me. So I like to put your stamp facing down. I like to pull the sticker off. Make sure, now at first I was confused, like which way does it go? As long as your paper is still on, just lay it down. You're going to pull the sticker off. And now, just make sure. Yep, like that. And then you just go lower and kind of angle the sticker until you're right there, and then it goes on perfect. That is how I like to do it. But this is what we're using, so I'm going to leave it on. And I think I'm going to do it in the soft suede. And it says, sometimes, oops, I just folded it. Sometimes that's all there is to say, and that I'm here for you. And that's the sigh. Isn't that cute? Just kind of a I'm here for you card. I've been meaning to send this, and I was thinking, oh, I'm not sure where I'm going to do. And then I realized I'm going to send it to my friend's work so they can get it at work. And that way their kids or anybody at home doesn't intercept and say, what's wrong? And you know, somebody's just having a bad day, so I'm just going to send them a card. And I've been wanting to, and I just was finally decided, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I just keep these in, and as I use them, I put them on. So I'm going to adhere this inside. Oop, I hope I cut that down already. Yeah. All right, I hope you guys enjoy these cards. I'm going to show you the supply list really quickly. While I pull out my gems, I got to put something on here. So here's the supply list for the first card. And remember, some of the items are not available until next year. Some of them are leaving, so you want to make sure if there is something that you would like, that you take a look and make sure you go see if they're on the clearance or the last chance list. All of these items will be listed on my YouTube. Here's the next card, some items that we use. Now, when I posted these items, this is what my thought was that I was going to be using. It's not necessarily everything I used, and it's not necessarily, there could be some items missing because I kind of go, as I go, I kind of come up with some ideas. So thank you so much for joining me. And let me show you what I did really quickly here with the last card. I forgot to show you. I just added some embellishments there. Some of these gilded gems. I just love these. So here are the two cards we created. Totally different. One all floral and kind of fancy. Now I could go in and add some crystal effects or different things there, but I think I like it is. And this little guy, I think I might go in and crystal effect his little spots and his eye, something like that, because I like to do that. So there you go. Here are my social media pages. I really would appreciate it if you would like the video and subscribe to my YouTube so that you can get notified of videos in the future. And I would appreciate if you want to see anything in particular created, just let me know. And if I have it, I will definitely do that for you. On my Facebook page, I tend to post there a lot. I also will post and let you know that I will be doing a live either on Facebook or YouTube. And of course, my shopping, you can go to my blog at marcybessaker.com. You can see the current catalogs. You can shop, just click the shop my online store. And right below that is a hostess code for the current month. I appreciate if you use that. And that will, you can go into a drawing for that month if it's $50 or more and you do use my hostess code. Thanks a lot, you guys. This was my second live video, and I think if I can get my husband not to weld outside, it'll be a little earlier in the day. And I will be posting, but I'm going to start doing videos on Tuesdays and Saturdays, probably about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and that is Pacific time. So I hope to see you there. Please don't forget to click on the bell. It will remind you when I am going live and when I've posted, and I will see you soon. Thanks a lot for your support.